Okay, hello. Hopefully you can see this and hear us. You can see all the fancy things in the fancy places. Um,
Hello,
yeah,
I'm here too.
Mox is here too.
Um,
Okay, so yeah, we're just gonna try and see what happens if we try and stream some of our development stuff. We'll start off with streaming Zoglin because yeah, that's the project we're currently working on at the moment. But I don't know, we could try and stream different stuff in the future. I don't know if we want to stream like Code of Copper Dev at some point, or I don't know. We'll see.
yeah,
Anyway, let's look at the GitHub. Let's look at some
just
issues.
gonna shout out Switch Cube and Jaegerwald for being in the chat. Hello.
Hello, hello.
I will be monitoring chat while Gears is
Oh
coding.
yeah, yeah. I don't have a second monitor, so if you can do that, that would help me a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
um. Okay, well, there's quite a few issues we have open at the moment.
Yep.
Um, so we could do one of these, I guess.
Okay, so I'd say probably the one I'm running into the most right now is optimized scoreboard.
Scoreboard.
Because I've been
Yeah,
using a bit of scoreboard stuff uh in the snail data pack that I've been working on.
yeah.
Yeah, there's just
Okay.
there's a couple places where I go to use something and it generates so much more code than it should.
Yeah, fair enough. Oh, by the way, um, I don't know how the levels are because I'm streaming. My mic is going directly into OBS, and then Mox's mic is coming through Discord. So, um,
Let me just listen back.
yeah. I can also see the thing. I think I'm a bit louder. If you just say something quickly.
Yeah, I think you are a bit louder than I am.
Okay, I can turn myself down. Although, okay, yeah, I'll turn myself down a bit. So maybe like that. Maybe that's good. Um,
Uh, yeah, I think it's fine.
all right,
I
cool.
don't know.
Um, people in the chat say if something. Oh well, there's a lot of messages. Okay, I'm not
Yeah,
gonna read all those.
don't. I'm keeping on top of it. Yeah,
Um,
Switch Cube
okay,
has
so
sent
optimized
Immortals name.
scoreboard.
Yes. So
So yeah, let's look at some examples that we need to optimize. And try and
yeah.
optimize specific things. So let's see.
So the first thing it's not doing is that it's not doing a times equal optimization. So if you time something, so a equals 1, yeah. Uh,
Like that.
yeah. So it should notice that it's assigning to a, so it should evaluate that as a times equals 2, right?
Yeah.
But it's not doing that optimization. But even then, even if you use the times equals operator, which I do
Yeah,
believe
we
we've implemented, it does the same thing. So
basically
it
naively implemented it so that it
yeah.
um
But yeah, times equals should, like, I understand a equals a times 2, generating the code that it is, but a times equals 2 should know that it's assigning back to that same variable and be able to optimize that. I mean,
yeah.
obviously there, like, with more work, the first case as well, a equals a times 2 should also just be optimized to a times equals 2.
Yeah.
But I think the first one to do is optimize the times equals operator, because that should be pretty easy, right?
Should be yeah. Should be, yeah. Yeah, do we want to do like a constant scoreboard? So anytime we use a constant, then we don't need to, because currently what we do is we do set a to 1, that's the first one, then we do set a in a temp variable, set 2 in another temp variable, multiply it, and then store it back to a.
Yeah, I think a constant would be good.
So we
And
could
yeah,
do like,
it's just
I guess we could just do, because constants should never change, right? As long as you don't mess with like the internal thing. So we probably don't need to namespace them to single namespaces, right?
yeah, no, we
So
shouldn't
we
need
could
to
just
know.
have like a Zoglin dot internal dot constants.
Constants or something.
And then
Yeah.
just anytime you use that, it basically generates code to
Yeah. Basically, in Zoglin's load, it should just add it if it's not there already, kind of thing.
yeah.
Kind of like registering a score does.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
It'd be nice
so
if there was a way to bulk load scores in, but I don't think there is. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
no,
but
there isn't.
do we want to try optimizing the times equals case first, or do we want to try doing the constant first?
We can do times equals first, I guess. Yeah, also another thing
And that really
is
goes for all of the operators, I believe.
if foo equals
All of the
1.
don't use say it breaks formatting.
Okay, my computer is slowing down. It doesn't like streaming to YouTube and Discord and compiling Rust at the same time. Actually, no, it's initializing Spyglass. Initializing Spyglass is so heavy. Can I maybe I can just disable Spyglass for now because we don't really need it.
Yeah.
Spyglass, or is it called Datapack Helper Plus? I always forget what the extension is called. Oh, come on. God damn it.
Oh no. It's dying. Gears' computer is dying. Maybe I should have streamed. The official abbreviation of Code of Copper. Yeah, I think it might be COC.
No, it's just CC.
CC. Okay,
you don't add the of. That's just a joining word. What's happening to my extensions now?
It's CC. Creative Commons.
C compiler. Okay.
Yeah, they were trying to trick us into saying, oh yeah, Clash of Clans. Yeah.
Okay, so let's hope this doesn't blow up when
hella sauce.
Okay. Okay, so it's in the compiler. Be in expression.rs. No. Binary operation.rs. Why has spell checker started reporting yellow squiggles and for that's so annoying. So annoying that the spell checker does yellow squiggles as well as blue squiggles now. Okay. Have we even added we did add unary operators, right? Yeah.
Anyway. Unary operators?
Yeah, logical not negation.
I guess we did. Huh. Yeah, okay. I forgot about that. I don't think I've used it yet.
Yeah, wait, so what does this... There you go, my computer's grinding to a halt less now that Spyglass isn't trying to initialize anymore, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna disable Data Backup Plus. Thank you.
Disable
Because apparently Data
Spyglass.
Backup Plus is heavier than compiling Rust. Whoever knew?
Well, clearly it's got a compile MC function. So,
it's a build, data, example, load, yeah. So, without Spyglass it is less pretty, but...
significantly less pretty. MC function is harder to compile, real. Or just, it's all written in JavaScript and slow.
Yeah, Rust compiler's written in Rust, and it's still slow.
Less slow.
Less slow.
I'd say there's more lines of Rust code in Zoglin than there is lines of datapack code.
Much less.
So,
I mean, or much more.
So
I mean,
I'm not entirely sure what Spyglass was doing there. I feel like Spyglass does sometimes just wig out.
it always takes forever to initialize, and it really, it's so, I don't know what it's doing. I think it's like pulling all the registries from MC Meta, so it knows what all the commands syntax is and all the like loot table syntax and everything. And that's what it's doing.
Yeah.
But I wish it cached it a bit more.
Yeah.
Okay, so
how heavy is it to download, like, and load registries?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're pretty big files, to be fair, but
yeah. Okay.
So yeah, we also
yeah,
shouldn't need to. Yeah, we should also be able to compare constant values. I thought we already would have done that, but because we did a lot of stuff with constant values. But anyway. So mod.rs, right? No. Oh, one thing I do want to do. I want to do it once we've merged all the PRs, because it's going to create loads of merge conflicts. Apparently, this style of having a file called mod.rs is like, it's like the old Rust style, and it's like considered bad practice now. So what you should do instead is like have a file called parser.rs in the main directory, and then
that loads
loads all the stuff in the parser folder.
Okay, interesting.
That's supposedly the way to do it now.
Yeah, let's not do that right now.
Yeah, let's not do that right now.
SwitchCube has no idea what we're talking about. And Yegvold reckons we've got a lot of lines.
We do have a lot of lines.
We do have a lot of lines of code. Let's run the line count.
Just over 7,000 now. In Rust.
A small amount of lines. How many lines of Coda Copper do we have?
Less.
I
forget the exact number.
There's more code in Rust, in this Rust project, than there is in Coda Copper.
Yeah. Although if you include...
I have the chat on a second monitor, so I am seeing everything you're saying.
If you include the Moxlib binary search tree as part of Coda Copper...
That one's... the Moxlib binary search tree is insane. We need to...
It's not the biggest datapack binary search tree I've ever done, to be fair.
No, not the biggest.
I did one when I was making a virtual machine.
Yeah, assembler. Or
yeah, it had, I think, 65,536 basically bytes of memory.
Yep.
and it was all stored in as a storage array, and that was before macros existed. So I had to write a binary search tree with about, I guess it would have been 32,000 files. So
Yep.
that
Wild.
was fun. That didn't take up a lot of space at all. Um, okay, so binary operation. Let's
Yes.
see. So operator assignment. For now, what we do is we basically just compile a binary operation. Yeah, we
Yes.
basically just like binary operation, the binary operation, you know what I mean?
Um.
No, we basically just, yeah, assign, we just take the left and the right,
Mhm.
and then we just
Compile an
treat,
assignment.
like, we just treat that the same as that.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, we should do something a bit smarter then. That means we're gonna have to. I think the current way we do it is we have what's called an operator assign, which just takes another operator. I think what we should probably do is
Yeah.
split that into separate operator kinds for different operators.
Yeah, that probably
Like,
makes sense. So like
um,
times equals, divide
yeah.
equals. Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
okay, so yeah. Yeah, so we have plus equals, minus equals, star equals, forward slash, and percent equals. So
Yeah.
instead of having an operator assign, let's do a add assign,
Add equals. I add a sign.
uh,
Yep.
sub assign, mul assign,
The Muller sign.
div assign, and mod assign.
Mod
There we
assign.
go. And can derive copy now. I guess partially Q if we really wanted to, but I don't care about that. Okay, so this will be add assign, sub assign.
I'm getting called out for yapping. That's what I'm meant to be doing. We're streaming. Of course, I'm meant to be yapping.
Div assign, and then mod assign. Okay.
Mod assign. Nice. Okay.
Ugh, stupid spell checker making me think it's actually Rust warnings. God damn it, I want yellow. I want blue for spelling mistakes and yellow for actual things that the Rust compiler is trying to tell me, not stupid spelling mistakes.
Real.
Do you want me to make it 2 words? Bit shift? There you go. Okay. So no more operator assign. Skill issue. I wonder if we should actually sort of flip this the other way round. Okay, so that basically, instead of like a plus equals 1 being the same as a equals a plus 1, Rather, the way we do it, to avoid like some code duplication and stuff, we do something like temp equals a, a temp plus equals 1, a equals temp.
Yeah. Okay. A equals temp. Yeah.
And we can
Equals A.
obviously optimize this later if they're the same. If it's the same thing, then we can just eliminate this temporary. But like, let's say you're
Yeah.
doing b equals temp,
Yeah.
and that
Right.
could be
Right.
optimized just to go directly to b. But so yeah, there is more stuff we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if we're assigning to something on the left-hand side, we can basically just eliminate the temp variable and
Also, Switch Cube just said goodbye. Has to go.
okay, bye.
And Jaegerwald said hi,
Uh,
Mox. So hello.
hmm.
Hmm?
That's my
What?
says YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain
Yeah.
smooth streaming, but it's the same as what it was been the whole time.
Just ignore it. I when I saw that, I checked the stream and it seemed
Okay, now it
fine.
just says current bitrate is lower than the recommended bitrate. Okay.
I think it's just whinging.
Okay,
Yeah.
so compile plus.
Compile plus.
Hmm.
I feel like at some point we should refactor the code a bit to like
Yeah.
I almost feel like having massive like matches for each type gets a bit unwieldy when we have to like
Yeah, it
I
does.
kind of like in uh a lot of like object or a lot of things will implement all of the different operations on the type or on the object kind of thing, and then when you
It's all one
introduce a
type
new
though,
one,
that's the thing. It's all one type.
yeah, but we have scoreboard like we have scoreboard is a different type than storage is a different type than uh compile time known integer, right?
Uh, well, no, it's one type. It's all expression kind.
Yeah, well that's just how we've I look I guess what I'm saying is we could uh make them pseudo types almost, right? Like even if it's not an actual type, I suppose. Like we I don't know how we would implement it, but
I mean, we could split them into separate
I think
types. We could split expression kind into. We could split all of these into one type. And then have, like, these slightly different ones as different kinds. And have methods on those.
yeah, I think it would just be easier because especially like I'm just thinking ahead as well. Like with compile time, we're gonna want to introduce like let's say for example we wanted to introduce an entity, right? And so you want to be able to have like you want the entity to like behave in certain ways and like maybe you could use it in an if statement or something like that, right? And we want to be able to implement certain
Yeah.
common methods, I suppose, amongst them all.
That's not
And I
really
feel
how.
like
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just having this massive match statement for every single type is weird, I feel like. But I don't know. Maybe that's just how you got to do it in Rust.
How else are you gonna do it? How else are you gonna do it?
I
You have to match, otherwise you can't decide what functionality to do. I mean, we can split it
but
up into
can't you
separate
just have a
functions. Sure, but that's not going to change anything.
so? Hmm. Yeah, because Rust you can't just take a whole set of types. You have to only take one type in, isn't it?
Well, the way to take multiple types is with an enum, which is exactly what we have.
Yeah.
And to figure out which type it is, you use a match, which is what we're doing.
And we can't implement we can't just implement a method that's like dot add and then it just takes another thing and then it itself works out how it should add this second thing.
Sure, but that's just going to be this in this file. Like, what's the difference going to be?
Well, rather than it all just being one big list, it's kind of like each single one has its own set, I suppose.
Okay, let's
I
implement the add method. So I'm going to take
Okay.
this.
Yeah.
Let's go down to the bottom. Import expression. Add. Let's see. Okay, binary operation. Wait. Left. So yeah, self is going to be an expression. Going to have other, which is another expression, and we'll have
I guess it still ends up doing a
the
slightly smaller
compiler,
match,
which
doesn't it?
is ampersand mute compiler. There we go.
Yeah.
So this self is going to be compiler. Yeah, so the left is self, and the right is other. Compile basic operator is private. Alright, we're gonna need a location. Alright, hang on. Oh, okay. Whoops.
Right,
Left.
because we're only implementing it on expression, we can't implement it on expression scoreboard and just only implement the scoreboard's add code, can we?
No, because scoreboard isn't a type.
Right.
So that's what add
So it
looks
would
like.
need like a it would need a well, because it's not implemented on scoreboard, it's implemented on expression. It doesn't really add any benefit, any more readability, really. It just shoves it somewhere else.
Yep.
Mm. Yeah, I think it's not worth it. I think there's not a way to add scoreboard as its own type.
We can add a scoreboard type. Well, we do have we have scoreboard location as a type. Whoops. We can implement an add function for that if we want.
Mm. I don't know. I feel like I think it's not something we need to do right now, but I feel like converting the different things into types might be beneficial at some point, especially if we wanted in the future to have like a way to define custom types in like Zoglin itself. And then you could theoretically implement how they like implement their own add function and stuff. I don't know how it would work.
Well, that would be all within
Maybe
Zoglin, so
within Zoglin.
that's got
I
nothing to do with Rust.
Well, theoretically, our internal types would be defined using a similar type system, right? We would construct the Zoglin type first as an internal Zoglin type. I don't know. I think it's more work than right now. I think just let's just it's all built around it being an enum rather than it being around its own sets of its own types, I suppose.
I don't really get what you mean by its own types. How are we going to have something that can be multiple things without having an enum?
Yeah. I guess it's just not possible in Rust to do that style.
Well, unless you
Because
use a
like
trait with dynamic dispatch, but that's really not how you should do stuff in Rust. Like, that's the object-oriented way to do it, but doing object-oriented stuff in a not object-oriented language is just gonna end up having, like, you're not gonna have a good time.
yeah, I know. I just feel like it's so hard to read it like this. You know, I feel I guess it's just not possible, but it's like there's something nice
no.
about like you just make a file for that particular like let's say you just make scoreboard as its own file and it implements like a set of methods or a set of functions, and then just
We can
every
do
single one
that,
has those same.
but I mean, we're still gonna have a match statement somewhere.
Yeah, but like that will just do a match. Okay, can we have it just do a match and then it just calls that function on whatever that match thing, and because they all share that same function, but they're just defined in different places. I don't know how to explain it.
Sure, you can have a match and call different functions from there.
Mm.
We're still gonna have a match statement, but
So, yeah, maybe that's just what we need. Maybe we need to just split it out into. I don't know, I feel like they're just there's something with the organization that's making it hard to reason with right now. I feel like I don't know.
well, yeah, I agree, but getting rid of match statements isn't.
No, I'm not saying what. I'm more just saying, is there a way that we have it so that it assumes that it's a scoreboard and it's only doing a match against the right rather than a match against all the left and all the right?
I'm sure we can make a function that does that.
Right. So you would first match the left, and then it would send the right to a compile scoreboard function
Sure.
that would then match the right.
We can
Is
do
that how
that.
it would do it?
We can do that. That's certainly possible.
And then I guess the question is that going to be more readable or less readable?
Well, let's try it, I guess.
I know, but that's compile scoreboard plus, isn't it? It's not.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
Like, I wish you could just match the type, and then it's just like scoreboard dot plus, you know, and then you pass it right, and then it's like function or like.
Well, we can have a plus on the scoreboard. Scoreboard location type if we want.
I feel like that's not where it should be though.
Well, what else can it be on? That's the only type that represents a scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, we could take. We could create struct.
Let's ignore it for now. I think
scoreboard, which just contains a scoreboard location, but that seems a bit pointless.
Somewhat redundant, yeah. Yeah. Hmm. I think honestly, just ignore it for now. Let's just implement this optimization.
Okay. So yeah, I guess. Yeah, so let's create a function that's like add to scoreboard, maybe.
Yep.
So it takes mute self. So I don't know if you can hear that. Probably can.
I did, yeah.
Okay. Anyway. Add to scoreboard self, and then the scoreboard is a scoreboard location. And the value is an expression. And the context is function context. Context, there we go. And I guess it returns result of nothing because it doesn't return anything, just adds to the scoreboard. Okay, so this actually might do sort of what you want it to do anyway. We can match on the value.
Yeah, maybe.
Or match on the value dot kind. There we go. Okay. And so let's see. So if we know the numeric values of both, we add them both together. We find one and hang on, aren't these the same case? These are the same case, hang on. We can just do or oh, I see. Okay. No, forget it.
Is the code exactly the same?
No, because left and right. And because we're only matching on the kind. Alright. Okay, so, but I think that should be... Yeah, basically we add to the scoreboard. So void, we should raise an error. I guess we can take a location in. Or we can just we can just do it on the value.location. Can I add type void to another value? Okay. So if it's anything... if it's a string or an array, or like any of these ones, we can say raise error value.location and can only add numbers together. Sure.
Yep.
This needs to be an underscore. Oops. Just underscore, please. Oh my god, stop doing that, please. There, underscore, and then underscore there as well. Okay. So those can all go up there. Anything yeah, so we got basically here. This is if we know the numeric value. But we're only matching on one thing, so... So we're copying to scoreboard the value. No, we're not copying anything to scoreboard, because we're just adding to a scoreboard. And we want to return that. If it's another scoreboard, we can use plus equals.
Yeah. So do we need to implement this? Well, are we going to add divide to scoreboard, or are we going to take in a operator
thing is,
for this function?
Plus and minus are kind of special because you can do literal values with them, whereas you can't do multiplication and division.
You're right.
For like plus minus plus divide mod, I think we can do that as a general thing.
Yeah.
We could technically have two, one for adding and subtracting, one for... Or we could have some information. We could have like, let's say we have like a struct op info, whatever. And then we have operator, which is like a, I don't know, a char, say. And then we have like a, I don't know, this is just like a random thing, but option string. And then basically what it would be is like the add operation, and we wouldn't have constants for these, that these would be like passed in line, but that would be like have op info, the operator is a plus, and it also has the native operation of add.
Okay.
But then something like a multiplication operation Uh,
Persian.
would be op info. The operator would be multiplication, right? But oh my god, please get away. Thank you. But then the native operation is none because we can't like directly
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know. Does that make sense?
Native operation none. Yeah. So
And then we just have one function basically.
right. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, I can see that working. Why is it red?
It's because I didn't properly like. That's not an option string. There's a missing comma there. You're supposed to annotate constants. There's lots of stuff,
All right.
but
Yeah.
just to show you.
I can only very barely see the code. It's like
Okay,
a
wait. Maybe I
44p.
should like not that much like that.
That's better. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can see the missing. What's it called? Comma and stuff now.
Anyway,
Hmm.
should we make that?
Yeah. Well, I guess that helps with
That's
code
the alternative to have
duplication, right?
having several functions for
It's just
different
because how much of
operations.
the code in that function, I guess, is my question.
Sorry, you cut out for a second. How much of the code? What?
How much of the code is going to be duplicated if we don't do that?
Quite a lot. I mean,
It's
all the
going to be a
bits
lot,
that's
right?
erroring,
Yeah.
like, and it's gonna be quite a lot of duplication. Yeah.
And how much more complicated is it going to make this function to have those types? I guess is the question.
It shouldn't be much, really.
Okay. Well, then I think they make sense to
Okay.
to do that system then.
So, do we want this to be the
Op info, operator character, native operation.
can have them be like static strings because they don't actually need to be. There we go.
And what that just means it will never change.
Yeah, that just means it's basically like a string literal,
Okay.
as opposed to like a heap allocated thing.
Yep. Okay.
We can just call it an operator, I guess.
Yep.
Do we already have? No, we already have an
We
operator.
do already have operator. Operator type. I don't know.
Or an operation.
Sure.
Okay, we can always come back.
Operation.
I'm gonna need to go in a minute,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah. Okay.
But okay. So let's call this a scoreboard operation.
Scoreboard operation.
So the value,
Nice.
and then we've got operation, which is going to be an operation. Okay.
Yep.
So okay, well we can't.
Can we take its?
We could have an extra piece of information for the actual thing here. Let's just like can only perform operations on numbers for now. Okay, so if numeric value dot is sum, there's two cases, right? There's the case where we can just do a scoreboard players add or scoreboard players remove, and then there's the case where we need to store it in a constant, in which case we'll do something else. So we can do if let sum native operation equals operation dot native operation.
Yep.
Then we basically
you
want
might
to
want to
do
change that to
scoreboard
be
players. Oh, that's a Persian. Yeah, there we go.
yeah.
That. Else, we're going to need to do. Basically, we're going to need to do. We'll need to do something like const scoreboard equals self dot, or not const. Been doing JavaScript recently. Actually, I haven't. I wrote like 10 lines of JavaScript the other day, and I already went back to
It's already
const. Apparently,
infected your mind.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
A
so we're gonna
dangerous
have to
game.
do something like self dot constant scoreboard with the let's say so we just want to expect it once. There we go. Scoreboard players, native operation, scoreboard number. So let scoreboard equals that, and then we'll basically do context code.push. So yeah, so we haven't implemented that function yet. Scoreboard players hang on, operation so operation scoreboard something equals constant scoreboard.
Yep.
Constant. There we go, and then that thing there is the operation dot operator.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright, so yeah, constant scoreboard we're going to need to implement, and then adding to like a scoreboard, that's easy, and then everything else we basically need to store to a scoreboard first to compare.
Yeah.
To a temp scoreboard.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I pretty much got to go now, so
Okay. I think this is a good time to end stream anyway, because it looks like all of our viewers dropped off just now.
cool. Give me a minute. Oh yeah, let's end the stream now. Okay.